listening to the Not So Christian in Me show, starring Southern Girl.
This is a bittersweet moment for me, family. Standing in my Father's pulpit, I feel the love of God and the foundation my Father built in this wonderful church is welcoming me.
What were you preaching?
I was telling them that they should obey their parents and you.
Nothing to worry about.
And God.
I'm not raising you to be a false prophet, Matt.
Show me you understand what God wants for you.
They keep telling us to obey, obey, obey. We have to have our own minds and get out of here.
Okay. So let me tell you this. You better watch what you preach around here.
They're hurting us.
Please don't let them find us.
I know it's not all your fault. It's the children's fault as well. They wanted this to happen. So tell me, what's the problem?
All the accusations, scandals, pedophile rings. I was dead wrong what you did to me.
But we sure do believe in love.
He's got our little girl.
Whoa, that was the movie Pulpit Gangster. Man, you guys got to check that out. That's a good one right there. That's a good one that you guys need to check out on Tubi. Go to Tubi tonight after this interview and check out Pulpit Gangster. Man, I won't lead you guys wrong. It's a really good movie. Please check it out. And without further ado, I have the executive producer of Pulpit Gangster on the show today. Please help me welcome Mr. Matt Hardeman.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being our special guest.
Thank you for having me.
We're honored to have you on our platform today. I love the movie. I've watched it more than one time, and I'm just so honored to have you on the show and just being willing to be on my show. So we're so excited to have you today.
Oh, I'm so humbled by that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate your support.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love supporting Black films, and I love Tubi movies. So I'm a movie buff, but I'm a real movie buff when it comes to Tubi. I'm like on it all the time. I'm putting them on my list, saving these movies, and I go back and watch them later. But for me to watch your movie 2 times, it speaks volume of your movie, and as well as Internet Movie Database. I don't know if you knew this, but you received 8.9. You received a score of 8.9, and that's huge for Internet Movie Database.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Really
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
That's awesome.
All praises to the Most High for that.
Yes. And before we talk about the movie, talk more about the movie, I want my viewers to know a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm just an ordinary guy, I'm a child of the Most High. I'm a spiritual leader. I'm a singer, writer, author, producer, of course. And I'm just a regular guy. I believe in just contributing and doing my little part as much as possible. Before I take my last breath,
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So how did you get into the movie industry?
Well, it started when I was about 5 years old. I developed some type of interest for acting. So, I really liked acting, and it started when I was about 5. I had my first stage play. At the age
At
of 5.
5?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
But
good.
but the thing about it, when you're in the environment that I was a part of, which is called the House of Prayer, it's a cult basically. It's a very
Mm,
big story in the news
okay.
about a pastor that was abusing his own members. And when I'm talking about, it was sexual abuse, sex trafficking,
Wow.
kidnapping. It was just all kinds of abuse. And
So you saw all of that at the age of 5,
no,
or just later on?
I was born and raised in that environment.
Wow.
And yeah, so my parents, they raised me in that environment. And I saw so much abuse, like it was like, man, really, really, really bad. And then eventually, um, you know, even myself, I was abused. I was used as a sex slave. Um,
Mm,
and
wow.
because the leader, he had a twisted way of thinking, a
Mhm,
sick way of thinking, and he was trying to build a mega church. And so he forced the young people, such as myself, to
mhm.
force them to mate with each other so that he
Wow.
can build his congregation. And so yeah, and I had 9 children in that environment.
Mm, my
Yes,
God. Wow. So you was in there for a very long time until you became an
yes,
adult.
yes. I was a young teenager when he forced me to mate. He would
Mhm.
pick and choose who you would mate with.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow.
Hmm.
Now, is the movie based on your life story?
Yes, yes,
Oh wow.
yes.
So,
Everything that the
mhm,
media mentioned and the things
mhm.
that they did not mention, a lot of it was mentioned in the film Pulpit Gangster, but it started out with the book that I wrote when I first got out of that environment.
Okay.
And basically, I escaped. And so when I wrote the book is titled Pulpit Gangster Life Inside a Cult. And so
Gotcha.
that's where the movie Pulpit Gangster stems from, that book.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. How did you
yeah.
end up breaking away from that environment?
Woo, that was one of the that was one of the hardest things that
Mhm.
I ever had to face in my life.
Wow.
Um,
Because you didn't, I mean, that's all you knew, right? So it was
that
kind
was
of hard for
all I
you
knew.
to
That
live
was
a
my
normal
world.
life.
Yes, that was my world. I didn't know. It
Yeah.
was like that's like when I got out of that environment, I
Mhm.
didn't even want to live anymore. It's
Yeah.
like I mean, I gave up. And I felt like it was just I didn't want to be here. Because to get out of that environment, I had to know, and I did know that I was gonna lose my entire family, meaning
Mhm.
parents and my siblings, or it's like you become demonized and ostracized and
Yeah.
um excommunicated.
Mhm.
So yeah, I knew that would happen because I saw it happen to too many people. And
Mhm.
it's like a game, it's like blood in, blood out.
Yeah.
And in order to get out, even to with your life, you have to be willing to risk all, everything, and put it
Yeah.
on the line. So, and that's what I did. I I see now, because I didn't
Mhm.
believe in God anymore. I didn't believe in Christ anymore. Um, I lost faith, and at that time, and eventually, the true Most High, he did let me see, and taught me a valuable lesson, and taught me that he does exist and he is real.
Yeah.
And the only reason but see, I didn't know him for who he really was. So because I was looking to man. And when I found that man was a fake, because he was like, he was my God. And but the true Most High showed me that he's real. And he built me back up, and restored my faith. And now I do have a personal relationship with him through Christ.
That's good.
Yeah.
What triggered that transition? Like, were you at the church when it happened? At home?
No.
Like,
This
made you
was
know what?
after.
Enough is enough.
Oh, with me leaving?
Yeah, when you
Are you
had broke
talking about?
free from the cult. For you personally, when you broke free from that cult.
Yeah, it took a little time. It took a little
Mm,
time. The Most High started showing me dreams and visions.
gotcha.
Um, and it kind of it scared me, like he would show me certain things and it would happen just like he said. I mean, just like he showed me in the
Mm,
dream. And I was like,
yeah,
oh my goodness. But who would know that? Like, this is creepy. How would you know? I
yeah,
mean, who would know before it happens? And then I'm having these dreams and visions, and it happened just like he showed it to me. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it
yeah.
kept happening. And it kept happening. And eventually I was like, wow.
Mm,
And I finally came to my senses and said, you know what? There must be a God, because
yeah,
nobody else would know these things but prior to it happening. And
yeah.
even to this day, I'm still having dreams and visions. Can
Oh
you
my
believe it?
God. Is it good
Just about
dreams?
just about every single night.
Like, what type of dreams? Is it good dreams or bad dreams?
Um, I would say, I won't necessarily say I have experienced what we call bad dreams
Hmm.
before, but even in those dreams, it's like it's a teachable moment for me. Like
Yeah,
I learn things, and it's like, but most of the dreams is just, it's like it just teaches me, it shows me things
yeah.
about life or about people. And sometimes, I'm like, I'm amazed, because I'm it's just kind of, it's kind of strange that
Mhm.
I would be used in that way. But I really like the Most High. He really shows me prophecies before it happens. And that's a lot of the dreams and things that I have now, and visions. It's for me to know and see things.
Yeah,
Whether it's even in the past, I would have things like past or the present or the future. It's just I can't control it, but hey, all praises, to the Most High for that.
right,
So
right.
yeah, but
So,
yes.
mm,
Mhm.
so it's very enlightening, I'm sure. Like, those dreams are very enlightening.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. They're very enlightening and very informative. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
good. That's
maybe
a good
even
thing.
a little intrusive, I would say.
Like,
Because,
wait a minute, God.
yeah, because
You're
sometimes
going too far.
yeah, like I've told people things, and they were like, no, I know you wouldn't have known that, and this was in the, it was
Yeah.
in the privacy of my own bedroom, and how did you know
Right.
that? I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's the Most High on that one. He knows all. He sees all. He knows
Oh,
everything.
exactly.
Nothing goes, without him knowing it. He knows everything. He's
Yeah.
an all-seeing God.
Right.
So yeah. But
How did your
but
life?
yeah,
Yeah. How did your life change after that?
after
After
coming
you
out of that environment,
broke free from the cult, how did your life change after that?
I became I was an I I'll be honest with you. It was like I became a new man, a whole new man. Because in that environment, you don't have a voice. You know, you're like a little child. Um, you know, quote unquote men are not real men. Because the cult leader tells you to sit and stand and run and jump and whatever he says do, whether it's, you know, get your hands dirty or get into some illegal activities or whatever it is, that's what you do. You know, if it's your time to hurt somebody or cause some physical harm to somebody, you do it because it's like God is telling you to do this. And that's what you do. So, but for me, it was like almost like a little baby having a new birth. You know what I mean? Like a grown man in body, but having to start all over again. But yeah, it's like
became a new creature. You became creature. Whole.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, did you? I'm sure you experienced a lot of trauma. Did you seek counseling?
Well, now I'll be honest with you. Because I lost faith in man altogether. And I didn't believe. I did not want to hear from anybody else because of that. And the Most High knew that, which is why He Himself, Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, was the one that gave me counseling, because I gave up on man, and I didn't want to hear anything else man had to say to me. And so He stepped in and counseled me when my own parents basically forsook me. You know, like the Bible says, when my mother and my father forsake me, then the Lord would take me up, and He took me up.
Yeah.
So he is a counselor. He's a wonderful.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
he was my counselor. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Now let's move into the movie. This is what everybody is so anxious to hear more about, this movie and how this movie played a part in your life and how it depicts your life. So tell us a little bit about the movie and how which role you play. Well, I know you don't play a character in the movie, but tell us about which character we should look for you in the movie.
Well, I will say again, you know, now, as I didn't play my character as Matt, because I was the one that was being groomed in real life to take this cult leader's position. Okay,
I know the role that you played. Yeah.
Yes.
You were the one that he gave the car to.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
In real life, this is based on a true story.
Life. Wow.
Yeah. So that was an actor, and
right.
He was acting, you know, my character, but I actually did, you know, I played a role in the film, but I was the husband of another young lady that was taken unfair advantage of by this cult leader. And he did some funny kind of business that I didn't like in the film.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't having it. I'll just say that. Yeah. Right. To not give it all away. But yeah. Right. But this film is very, very powerful.
Yes, it is.
Because, you know, it's like this is happening. It's so much abuse, and many people are not talking about it. As we speak, there are so many people that have already been abused, whether it's, you know, sexually or verbally or physically, whatever the case is. Um, and it's happening in many of these quote unquote churches, but
Right.
not hearing enough people talk about it like they should. And
Yeah.
because they say, that's the leader, that's the bishop, that's the pastor, that's the this
Mhm.
and that's that. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you're
Right.
using your position to molest children
Mm,
or
mm, mm.
abuse children or abuse adults or whatever the case is, that's wrong, period.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And it's crazy. Like you said, this stuff is going on today. They just in a different form. And they covering it
Yes,
up in the church. Because sex
yes,
trafficking is really big, but people
yes,
don't think about it is going on in the church. You won't think like,
yes,
oh, that's happening at the church. You won't think that. Because
yeah.
it's a cover up.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I believe if we come together, if more
Mhm.
of us would speak out, just like the Me Too movement and all
Yeah.
these other movements, and it's like
Mhm.
more of us need to speak up and speak
Right.
out, and because I believe if you're silent and you know of injustices going on somewhere, and you don't say anything about it, I believe in some form or fashion, you're just as guilty.
That's right. That is so right. Because you
'Cause
letting it happen.
yeah, like you see it happening or you know about it and you refuse to say something.
Mm.
I remember when I was even physically abused, beaten. I was physically beaten in that environment, a young
Wow.
teenager, because and that there were others, you know, man, you talking about some girls, young girls over there 14
Mhm.
year-old girls. They were
Mm.
forced across state lines to mate with much older guys,
Wow. To
because
leave, I guess because their surroundings wasn't as good, so they felt like it was more safe at the church. Is that one of the reasons why some of the ladies will leave their
no,
homes?
no, they were forced. They were
Oh,
forced
wow.
against their wishes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
their parents and were caught up in it, and they would take part in the trafficking of these young girls.
Uh, so they knew
And
about it. Parents knew about it, but they was trapped and they had to do it because they
yes,
felt like
yes,
they were in danger if they didn't do it.
yes. And I used to some like many of the young people there, young girls,
Hmm.
he would have them beaten with belts. He would have their clothes that, like, if they had their long dresses on, he would have them to
Mm.
pull their long dresses all the way up above their heads
Oh my God.
to expose their nakedness
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
just have them beaten with belts. And that's perverted. You got all of these grown men watching these young girls.
Wow.
Why would it's like, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And then I watched a pregnant woman, big and pregnant, about 9 months pregnant, get
Mm.
beaten because she would not go along with something he was doing. And
Oh
whenever
my.
you don't go along with what he has going on, he'll order you to be beaten by his goons.
Wow.
I've
Now,
seen even guys, grown men, get beaten with belts.
mm. How was this process putting this film together, reliving your past? That's very traumatic. It sounds like it's very traumatic, like reliving that, but it's also healing. It is
No,
you heal from your past as well. So
yeah, I'll be honest with you. A couple of times I did have to step away,
yeah.
because it was like certain scenes
Mhm.
I remember. See, because um, mm, yeah, I had to, like, when you're reliving those moments, And then, because I'm having to think about how when I was about 7 or 8 years of age, and I had to watch my dad beat my mom with a belt, and it traumatized me. And but the cult leader was the one that instructed him to beat her because she was trying to leave the cult many years ago. And I'm telling you, it just is watching some of those scenes and just even like reliving it or having to even I had to step away. I did. And the main director, he had to kind of take over, and just and let me kind of, what I mean, regain my composure and just hold myself together. It was like a war zone, like
I can
almost
only
like,
imagine. Yeah.
like going through this whole process. It was like I felt the weight of the world.
Yeah.
It's like that's the way I felt, like the weight of the world was on my shoulder. And man, I mean, whew, it wasn't that easy. It really wasn't that easy to produce this film.
I can only imagine. That's pretty
Yeah,
heavy. That's
yeah,
pretty heavy. Very
yeah,
intense. Very
yeah,
intense. Because pretty much every scene was pretty intense. Like when you actually look at the movies, like every particular scene that you look at is it's very intense. So
yes,
I
yes.
commend you. I mean, I commend you for sharing your story.
I,
That
I,
that's hard. That's really hard. Now,
I
as your role as an executive producer, tell us a little bit about that role because I know you say that you had somebody else to step in for you.
yeah,
Um,
I am the executive producer, and but I also co-directed it too. So I co-directed the film. Um, but my role basically was to oversee everybody and make sure everybody's in their lane and everybody
mhm.
doing what they should do and everybody is getting paid. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
Every
have heard
single
that the
body.
executive producer is the one. He's the money guy,
Yeah,
money
yeah.
female. Yeah, they
Yeah,
got the
that
big.
that was me. That was me. And I had to. I mean, I had to make sure, everybody, collected their coins,
Yeah.
um, because one thing about me, I always believe in doing right by people. And
Yeah.
so I was so humbled by them, even participating in this
Mhm.
project. And I wanted to make sure every single body, received something. Yeah.
That's
And,
good. That's
and got
good.
their share from this film.
Well, that's
And
good.
so yeah. But sometimes though, you might have to, I mean, it wasn't always we had to pray, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had to
Yeah.
pray some things through because sometimes you got some spirits in there that you gotta
Right.
rebuke,
Right.
but and the good thing about it too, I just think, when because sometimes people don't really know what goes on behind the scenes of certain
Right.
films. You might have to step in and break up a fight, a physical
That's
fight,
true.
or at least one that's trying to brew. And you gotta, and so a part of being the executive producer, everything falls back on you, So it's like,
Mhm.
no. We won't go
Yeah.
down that rabbit hole, And
Right.
so yeah, but being an executive producer is man, it's a huge responsibility. It
I'm
really
sure it
is.
is.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I'm thankful though. We really had a good crew and for the most part, and those who, we might have had to, check a little bit or straighten out,
Yeah.
what I mean? One
Yeah.
way or another. Uh but yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was a process
Now,
for sure.
tell us a little bit about the cast. Walk us through that casting process. How were you able to cast these characters? And how was it hard picking those particular characters?
No, actually, it was a little challenging here and there. But to be honest with you, what helped out a bunch was my wife Sylvia. She actually did the casting. She took care of
Okay.
the actors and stuff. So she was the casting manager. And
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. And so a lot of she really did. She kept quite a bit off of me, you know what I mean?
Good.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then of course we had to have our auditions and all of that. But I tell you that the main character,
He did a good job. He
didn't
did a
he do
really
a good job?
Yes. He almost
That
sound
guy,
like Denzel Washington a little bit when I was watching that. I said, he
yes,
kind of sound like Denzel.
yeah. He sounded like Denzel. I'm
He
telling
did.
you, he
He
really
did.
did, for real. And I was
Yeah.
so proud of him. And even his acting, I was like,
hmm
"Wait, is this Denzel or what?" Like
Right. Yeah.
he
He did a
really,
really good
really.
job.
I haven't seen too many people that I could say, because Denzel is a great actor. He
Yeah.
really is. And to have someone that's like this guy is acting like Denzel right now,
hmm
and
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed, and his
Yeah.
name is Rashawn Matthews, actually. But yeah,
Okay.
he really carried that film. I'm telling you,
He
he
did.
carried
That's
it
my
on
first
his.
time seeing him in a film. I never seen him in any other film.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He was in, I think he did like Greenleaf, parts of Greenleaf,
oh, okay.
um, and other films as well.
hmm
Let me see. It was some Clint Eastwood film, and
Okay.
there were a couple of other films I know that he's been in. And but yeah, Broken Covenant and something else. I can't recall
Well,
the
I'm
the
sure he
name.
was an easy pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but but like you say, prior to our film, man, I'm telling you, whew, I was just impressed. I was
Yeah.
impressed, and I'm glad he made me proud. He
That's
really did.
good. That's good. Now, what about the
Yeah,
other? What about the other characters, the other cast members? Was
the
it
other
hard to cast them? Did you have like a
no,
huge
no,
turnout?
no. I'm telling you, no, because for the most part, most of them really, really, it was. I I was so thankful that it really came together
Yeah.
like it was designed. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah.
it was cut out for this. It for
Yeah.
just this project.
That's an
And
example of what's for you is for you. So those characters landed those roles because it was for them,
I'm
nobody else.
telling you, yes, yes.
Mhm.
And the funny thing about it, even the main character, he did not come in for that position as the lead
Oh,
character.
oh
He
wow.
was he came in to audition for a much smaller role. And when I
Wow.
heard him act, he was reading the script, and I looked at
Mhm.
him, and because I was like, I really, I wanted Denzel to act in this film.
Yeah.
With Denzel, you have to have some long paper. Your money has
Right.
to be long, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but when he came along and I saw him and he was acting for the other role, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, I got something for you. I want you to
Yeah.
try something for me. And the moment he did it, I said, there's my Denzel right there.
Was he okay at the beginning to be casted for that role?
No,
Or
he
did he
did
say,
not.
no, let me think about it?
No, he was trying to play it safe. He was trying to play it
Oh,
safe.
gotcha. Gotcha.
So I
Gotcha.
was the one that pulled him out. Like, no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. I see,
Oh,
I
okay.
see something about you. You have
Yeah.
something in you that's much greater than what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. But the other characters and the actors
Mhm.
and stuff and actresses, they really, I promise you, they did such a beautiful job, even down to the children. And
good.
I was just so happy and so impressed. And I was like, oh my goodness, trust me when I tell you, this film really came together. It
That's
really
good.
came
That's a
together.
blessing right there. That's a huge
Yeah,
blessing.
yeah. But and by my wife Sylvia, she, by her handling the actors and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I think that helped me in so
Oh
many
yeah.
ways.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely. That,
you
that,
know,
that took some stuff off your shoulders to deal with.
it really did. It really did. Yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
it. So, my viewers, how can we watch the film? Where can
Oh,
we find the film?
everybody and their mama. Everybody and their mama need to watch this powerful true story film that's on Tubi right now.
Yeah.
It's streaming on Tubi right now. I
Oh,
need
right
everybody and their mama to watch this
there.
powerful true story film. I'm telling you right
Please go
now.
out there and
And
watch it, guys.
yes, because I need for it. This is a movement. I need for everybody to come together so that they can even see what's happening in some of these environments. And when we stop putting these men on pedestals and putting them even before the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
that's when we can get a grip on some of this abuse, and I believe we can prevent so much of it. But
Yes,
when
we
you
can.
do what I did and my parents did, and so many others are doing, by allowing these men and putting these men above the Most High, then you
Yeah.
allow yourself to be abused like this. And I don't want that to happen. If I can help it, if I can use my experiences
Mm-hmm.
and help somebody else, I will. Because, it's like I lost my virginity in that environment. And
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many child molesters in this environment.
Mm.
When I'm talking about child molesters, I'm talking about 14-month-old babies
Mm. Mm. Mm.
up to the age of about 6 or 7 years of age, male and
Oof,
female. That's wrong.
that's terrible. Mm.
And one of my own daughters was molested in that environment by this same child molester that molested about
Mm.
15 to 20 or more babies.
What happened to the pastor that was doing all of this?
He was during the time that molester was molesting those babies, because he was a molester too. He was a pedophile himself. And but when he found out about what this other child molester did, he justified the child molester and said that it was the children's fault that happened to them.
Mm.
They wanted that to happen to them.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Wow.
And I wanted to kill that
Yeah.
guy.
Innocent children. Innocent. And it's their fault.
And truth be told, and I went to the police myself. I went to the police myself, and because I wanted some justice.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already started planning on how I can take this guy's life, how I was going to do it, when I was
Mm-hmm.
going to do it, and everything. And
Wow.
I went to the authorities and let them know that if they don't get this guy off the street, I
You
was
was gonna
gonna,
handle it.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
police got involved and he ended up going to prison.
yes. He went to prison for 3 years, which is not enough.
3 years? Oh my goodness. So currently he's out of jail. He's still living.
Yeah, he just got out not long ago.
So he went to jail recently then.
No,
Like so when this movie aired, was he in jail when the movie aired?
So when the movie aired, I want to say it's very possible he was in prison then.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, but I know that when the movie aired, the pastor had already gone to prison himself.
So we talking about several different other people. We talking about the pastor and other people's kids, right?
Huh? Say that again.
So we're talking about the pastor and then, oh, sorry, we're talking about the pastor and then all the other ministers that was in the church that was doing this, that was molesting kids. We talking about them too, or just the pastor?
Yeah,
pastor.
Yes, they kind of went at different times. They didn't all go at the. They weren't all sentenced and all of that at the same exact time. Because these are, the pastor had already basically had been sentenced to like 10 years in prison. But he only served 2 years. And then when he got out, yeah. And then when he got out of prison, he later died in a house fire in 2013.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But I felt like, how can you justify?
Try that.
Yeah. Like, what? Are you serious? You just said it's the children's fault that they were molested. I couldn't bear that.
And then let them off easy. Yeah.
That's why
it is
I
hard to
had
bear.
I had to get out. I had to get out of that environment. I had to, and I was able to, I was awarded custody of all my children too. And
That's
I tried to
good.
I couldn't rescue my children's mom, but I was able to get them out of there. And yeah.
Okay, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. So for those of you guys who want,
I'm hated right
go
now,
ahead.
though. I will say I'm a hated man right now because it's like
Yeah, I was gonna
you're
ask
not
you, did you get any backlash from this? Yeah.
big time, big time. I'm not.
Mm,
Even when I went to the law, and ever since then, they hate my guts. They hate my guts with a passion.
wow.
But guess what? I hate theirs too.
Right.
I hate theirs too. I hate everything they stand for. Everything, because it's wicked, it's evil, it's a bunch of it's corrupt. I can't do it. I can't do it. And no, I'm okay with them hating me.
Yeah.
So, and yes, I did. I did go to the law. I did, because the law is for the unjust. They're unjust. So yeah. And so I just wish more. I wish I could have done more, and I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yeah.
I wish you know what I mean? Like, but
But at this point, all we can do is help others that may be in the same situation.
Yeah.
That's why I have my platform to get your voice heard, so your voice can be heard, so other people can get out of these situations, to let them know that, hey, you're not alone. Other people, was able to survive out of that. So
that's so true.
What you're doing is phenomenal, and keep up the good work. Keep promoting this movie. I don't care how old this movie is. You keep promoting, keep doing your thing with this movie, because it needs to be told. This story needs to be told. It definitely needs to be told.
I really appreciate that, and I feel like people like yourself, like, I need you, and I need people like you, and I need others, and I appreciate others, and all of those who have, you know, basically just really been really supportive. And I'm talking about this. I mean, this film has been viewed millions of times already.
All over the world, I'm sure. Yeah.
Millions of views already, and I'm like, wow, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
Most
praises to
high.
the Most High, yeah, you know,
Got to
you
give it
know,
up for him. Yeah. Give
yeah,
it up for
yeah,
him.
yeah. So
So once
I'm
again, they can catch it on Tubi. Here's the
yes.
website right here on Tubi, guys. Go to Tubi and watch Pulpit Gangster. Pulpit Gangster. So what's next? Do you have
I
another film that you're working
yes, yes. I have a few more now that are in the queue.
on? Okay.
Yeah, that I'm currently working on. And they're, you know, right now they're all in what is called pre-production stages, you know.
Okay.
And but yeah, there's definitely more.
Well, that's
And
good.
you know, because it's just a passion. It's a passion of mine, you know.
Yeah.
I really enjoy, these are things that I could not do in that environment. Um, you know, like I was saying, you know, even when I was younger trying to get into acting and all of that, you know,
Mhm.
that was not encouraged. In fact, I got in trouble behind that because I went against what my parents told me to do at that time at the age of
Yeah.
5. But so now, you know, I just try to bring life to television. I like for people to know my thoughts. I like for them to know my vision. Um,
Mhm.
and and I love messages. I like things that has messages in it, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It definitely has a
so
message. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah. For
yeah.
those who want to connect with you on social media, how can they find you on social media?
They could go to our Instagram at matt.house67. Yeah,
Okay.
it's matt.house67.
All right.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
yeah.
Well, thank you
So,
so much for being our special guest. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, or they can log on to our website, you know,
Mhm.
at matthouseproductions.com, and that's matt.house. I'm sorry, matthouseproductions.com.
.com.
matt
Okay.
houseproductions.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And make sure you list auditions for those like myself would like to audition. So make sure you put
Really,
that out there. Yes.
really, really.
So if you're looking
Well,
for Taraji P,
I
another
but you know, believe it or not, you kind of favor Taraji, for
I get
real,
that
for
all
real.
the time. I had to throw that out
I'm
there.
serious.
That way
You really
get,
do.
get your wheels moving in your head, like,
I, I think you might be able to act a little bit like her too.
I'm sure I can pull it off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
may be able to pull it off. We'll see.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I
Well,
think
thank
you
you
could.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much for being our special guest. This has been a honor, and it's been enlightful. It's just been eye opener. You name it. I mean, I just love this interview, and I just love everything that you're doing with this film. And keep up the good work. You have all of our support here at the Not So Christian and Me Show. Do you have any final thoughts before we leave tonight?
No, well, I appreciate you too.
Mhm.
You know, I just, you know, like I say, I'm very thankful for you allowing me to even, you know, be a part of your platform. Um, and you know, if we ever, you know, open up for auditions and stuff like that, hey, you know,
There you go.
you know, hey.
God, hopefully
But
God will
yeah,
pop you in my spirit, in your
I
spirit.
know, right? I know, right? You know,
Like,
and
who
we
can
may
play this
post it.
role? I remember the
Yeah,
girl from the Not So Christian and Me show.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But
There
and
we go.
we may post it on our movie page.
Okay.
It could be posted on Pulpit Gangster movie page on
Okay.
Facebook or whatever. We may just put it on Instagram. But however it is,
Mhm.
I just believe you have the juice.
Good, good.
I
Thank
believe
you.
you
Thank
have
you.
the juice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. But I do. I want us to come together as much as possible.
Okay.
Just each one of us, I believe we have an obligation to help each other. I'm a little
Yes.
different. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know about Tyler Perry. I don't know what he has going on. But he's different than myself. I need my people. I think
Right.
he's on a level in his brain at least where he thinks whatever. But I need my people. So,
Right.
I'm thankful.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't do it by
absolutely.
myself.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm thankful
yeah,
too and grateful for the opportunity as well to share my screen with you.
right.
And I also want to thank all of my viewers who are tuned in. If you guys are interested in being a guest on the Not So Christian and Me Show, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram and Facebook at the Not So Christian and Me Show. Also, feel free to sow us a seed via Cash App, $TNSCIM. Until next time, remember that no matter what you guys are going through, God will always see you through. Stay blessed up. Bye.